Welcome to our weekly discussion of all things current in California politics. I'm Walt Gray. Joining us this week, reporter Emily Hoven, a political expert for CalMatters.org. Emily, always good to see you. Explain AB 5 in terms of how the governor is involved in this and the supply chain issues.
This was a law that the governor signed in 2019, and it basically made it harder for companies to classify some of their workers as independent contractors and would basically require them to treat those people as employees, give them more benefits. And so this law has become kind of entangled with the supply chain hurdles due to California's trucking industry. And there are some 70,000 independent owner operators in California that in order to comply with this new law would basically have to get new licenses and new insurance coverage that some trucking industry members say could cost $20,000 a year and essentially drive them out of business, drive up costs for the industry and the consumer, and create a lot of new bureaucratic hurdles. And the law is just now going to go into effect because the U.S. Supreme Court basically declined to block it. And so now the pressure is sort of on the governor and his administration to outline how the industry and the state is going to comply with this law.
The governor is also going to sign a gun bill. What is that gun bill going to look like?
Yeah, so this is sort of the centerpiece of this gun bill package that the governor has. And it was formed in response to the law in Texas banning abortions after about 6 weeks and basically deputizes private citizens to enforce this law. You can get up to $10,000 if you sue someone who's aiding or abetting the procedure. And so the governor, in response to that, said, let's do a gun law like that in California, except this is going to be Californians can sue anyone who manufactures, distributes, or sells assault rifles and weapons and ghost guns and any other illegal firearms. And so this gun law is the centerpiece of that, and it's definitely going to be hit with legal challenges. But again, it's sort of forming the backdrop of California as this resistance state to Texas and Florida and other red states, as well as the U.S. Supreme Court.
California is still in what we call a COVID economy. We're talking about masking rules again. What's to come here?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think we're at a very strange point in the pandemic response where, the state at this point is taking a very hands-off approach and saying, basically, it's up to the counties to decide how they want to respond to these rising cases with the BA.5 Omicron subvariant. Cases are really high. They're approaching the highest they've ever been in California. And so we're seeing a very patchwork response across the counties and even in school districts and businesses, with some saying, okay, masks are going to be required again. Los Angeles County is expected to announce a universal indoor mask mandate on July 29th. San Diego Unified has a mask mandate, but then a bunch of other places like the Bay Area are not having this mask mandate. And so it really raises the question of, are people actually going to comply with this? And how is this going to keep impacting, workers that may have to follow different masking rules in different parts of the state economy?
Yeah, it does seem like COVID really is ramping up lately, and people are having to react to that. And we'll see, like Sac City Unified School District opening around Labor Day, what that's going to look like with all those kids in schools. Emily, thank you so much. Cal Matters is a nonpartisan news organization explaining California policies and politics. Find their work at calmatters.org. You can also sign up for Emily's newsletter there.